Hey now.
Hey now. Ooh, there you go. Missy Jen, you want to take over here? All right, Missy Jen's in a feisty mood tonight. And good evening, everybody. It's Friday night. And as usual, that means Friday night foodies. And, well, we're just racking it up week after week, aren't we? We're just going on and on. Sometimes we go for the real highs. We go for the big stuff. And some days like today, we feel like just taking it easy and kind of downscaling a little bit and, well, eating the food of you common folks once in a while out there.
Right.
Hey, we're common folks. What are we talking about on here?
That's right. Yeah.
Tonight we're going to do something that we haven't done in a long time.
We're ham and eggers.
We're ham and eggers. We haven't done in a long time. We're going to go down to the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I say a long time because before last summer, before we even started Friday Night Foodies, Jen and I went one night down to the KFC. We're not going to talk about our impressions of it that night, but we're going to go down there again tonight and give it a whirl. But before last summer when I went down there, it had, honest to goodness, probably been 40 years since I'd been at a KFC, what I knew growing up as Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, the reality is when I was growing up, McDonald's was a very small little franchise, and Kentucky Fried Chicken was the biggest fast food franchise in the country. Times have changed, guys, but has KFC kept up with the times? We're going to see tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the trials and tribulations that they've had too, trying to right themselves and get on track. And of course now KFC is a subsidiary of Yum Brands, which is a major worldwide food purveyor traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol YUM. And I might also add, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, or what we call KFC today, is the largest, their largest fast food franchise operations are in China. Okay, just thought you'd like to know. We'll take a ride down. We'll talk a little bit of history and a little bit of, well, some reminiscences of growing up with the Colonel. And, well, what that meant to us and the changes that took place and some of the things that made Colonel Harlan Sanders kind of groundbreaking when it came to selling chicken dinners in the South. Okay, let's get on our way. Woo! You know, Missy Jen, the story of Kentucky Fried Chicken is really a rags to riches story in a big major way. Colonel, well, they became an honorary colonel later, but in 1890, Harlan Sanders was born on the border, just on the Indiana side of the Kentucky-Indiana border. And he was poor. His dad died when he was a few years old, and at 7 years old, his mom said, you know what, I got to teach you to cook because I got to go to work in the canning factory to make money to live. And she taught him to cook at age 7, and he took care of feeding his brothers and basically was the man of the house at that point doing it. It's an amazing story. But then the Depression hit in the late 1920s and early 30s, and he bounced from one thing to another. And finally one day he landed on, he figured, I'd make a damn good chicken. You know, and he opened up a little roadside thing, and over the next couple of years it grew and grew from 3 tables to 5 tables, and eventually he was to purchase a gas station and open up there, and then more success followed and more tables set up. And before you know it, he had 14 or 15 tables set up, and people would come from miles around because he cooked a good chicken, pan-fried chicken. He didn't like deep frying. He thought deep frying destroyed the value of the chicken and the taste of the chicken. Well, eventually he got to a point where he was able to purchase an old hotel and set up the Colonel Harlan Court. I think it was the Sanders Court and Motel it was called. And you could stay there like a hotel as well as have the dinners, and it became very popular. It got so busy that he had a big problem. He had a dilemma. How do you pan fry all this chicken with all these people coming in? Right? I mean, all that pan takes time. Takes a half hour to pan fry chicken up when you fill it up, and that's really time consuming. He didn't like the deep frying, so lucky for him in 1939 the pressure cooker came along. And he started experimenting with the pressure cooker because the word got out that that reduced the cooking times dramatically. Well, he mucked around with the chicken, and before you know it, he had the chicken being produced at the same speed as if it was coming out of a fryer. And success was born at that point. He had the quality he wanted of a pan-fried chicken, but none of the destructive qualities of being done in a fryer. So he went on to great fame, and in 1950s, his first franchisee, a guy named Pete, well, I can't remember his name was, out in Pete Carden or something like that, out in the state of Utah, was his first franchiser, and he came along, and he was actually the one that coined the term Kentucky Fried Chicken. At that time, it was known as Sanders Fried Chicken, and this guy, Corbin, thought that it sounded exotic to have chicken that came from Kentucky and that way of cooking it, and well, Southern hospitality being like, who wouldn't want to sit down at a table in the South and have a chicken dinner, right, with all the fixings and everything like that. He was also the one that coined the term finger licking good. Well, eventually in '64, Sanders sold out the company. Kind of took a back seat. He was made an honorary colonel in the 1930s with all the early success, and then he was re-coloneled again in the 1950s. That's when he started wearing the white suit and the string tie, and he got really offended when people called him Mr. Sanders. That's Colonel Sanders to you, son. And he really got PO'd about that, but you know, the competition came along. Well, when I was in the 50s and 60s growing up, man, that was the stuff to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. That was it. McDonald's was a wee little place. Burger Kings were almost unknown. There were a few independent burger joints, but Kentucky Fried Chicken was mom's savior on a busy weekend night when everybody had been working their butts off around the house. Good food at a good price, and we would just pile into the station wagon and go. Well, the reputation went down a lot in the 1970s and 80s to a point where even Colonel Sanders himself said, I wouldn't even eat that slop that they're serving out there. Well, by about that 2012, the writing was on the wall for KFC. If they didn't lift their game, they were going to have some massive problems. So they got back to their roots, they cleaned up their operations, and now, well, we're proof tonight. We're going to come out here and have ourselves a dinner. Well, it's going to turn out good. Well, you guys will be here to check it out. We got our fingers crossed. We're going to go put the Colonel to the test tonight. Here we go into KFC. Woo! They're hiring, Jen. Start your career in handling chicken. All right, there we go. Welcome to the Colonel's Kitchen. I like it when people welcome me. Let's see what kind of things we're gonna try here. Let's look at the menu for a minute. We're gonna get a small thing of chicken. What else should we try, Jen? Should we go with the flagship meal here? He's been one of the ones to talk about that. Huh? Should we go with the flagship chicken meal? See what that's like. I was going to try a couple different things, but it's all the same chicken. So, yeah, all right. Okay. Let's see what I don't do. Ended up ordering the, what would you call it, the flagship little bucket. It's like $20. It has a couple rolls. It's got the size. It's got the chicken in it. I think we got 8 pieces of chicken. So just follow me over. I'm going to pick up the chicken. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of food for $20. Let me tell you. Woo! Well, let's see what we got here. We've got the, I think this is probably the biscuits in here.
should be 4 fluffy
Yeah, we got
biscuits.
four fluffy biscuits in here. Guess you got to be a genius to open them. Jen,
Just
get
pull
it.
those tabs out
Pull
on the
those
side.
tabs out. There we go. Thank you, Jen. There we go. We got 4 fluffy biscuits in here.
Yummy.
Okay. We'll close that up again to keep them warm. We've got a couple plates. We've got the bucketed chicken. This is the original recipe here. Okay, looks pretty good, huh? Put that on the side. Alright, we've got the taters, mashed potatoes. You get all this for $20, which I think is a hell of a deal. Put that on the side there. We got coleslaw. I love. I think we got 2 things of potatoes, don't we, Jen?
And there's 2 taters, 1
Yeah,
gravy.
and then we got the gravy here, and that's pretty cool the way they put that gravy in there. We'll deal with that later. And they've got all the honey sauce and the things for the biscuit, the buttery spread, nice and cold. So, yeah, all this for 20 bucks, huh? Should we set our plates and go for it?
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, I'm hungry. So far, the Colonel's on track for a win. I have the privilege of setting up for Missy Jen tonight and get her some coleslaw. Ooh, on the plate. Put that on there for you. Put that on the side. Get you some potato. I like these sporks. This combination sporks and stuff. Put that on the side.
Yeah, they're foolproof. That way you don't. That way you don't have
Bunch
to.
of taters there.
You don't have to try to figure out. Am I gonna use the fork or the spoon? You just use the
Look
fork.
at this table side service I'm giving you, Missy Jen.
Woo! Treat it like a goddess.
Look at that. Woo! Did it get any better than that, guys?
Like a BBW
All right,
that
this
deserves
is going to be the crowning achievement right
first
here.
class service.
20 bucks for that. Look at that biscuit, baby. Now look at that. Focus your eyes down on that.
The
thing. Point that
Norwegian,
camera down.
the
Missy Jen.
Norwegian goddess. Look at that.
She's going to be eating in style tonight, boys. There we go.
Styling and profiling.
All right, we're going to get my plate set up, and then we're going to dig in. We're going to put the Colonel to the
Yeah,
test.
put some spuds on there.
Put some taters on here.
Put some cream spuds on there.
Yeah. Potato up, gravy up,
Put some
boys.
gravy
up. There
on
goes
there.
the diet, right? I was just telling people I lost 7 pounds. Here comes 5 of them back again, and we got that.
You gotta get your
we got
biscuit,
that roll.
that fluffy biscuit.
Fluffy biscuit. Now look at that, guys. Woo! Ah, yum, yum, yum. Like we do down south, just like this. Alright, here we go.
Alright, let's take a bite.
Alright, I'm gonna take that first bite.
Take a bite.
Hit that chicken first.
Sure does look good.
It's hot.
Looks delicious, smells delicious.
Juicy.
It is the best of the best for the best
Very good.
by the best.
Woo. I have to say that's an excellent piece of chicken. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera around here and get Missy Jen.
So I have occasionally eaten KFC in the Midwest, when I was in the Midwest, because I used to live with somebody that was a KFC fanatic. So,
Let's give it a try, Missy Jen, and see what you think. Got the taters.
Taters and gravy.
Yeah, the taters taste like real. They don't taste like institutional potatoes, which I like.
Yeah, it's real good spuds.
Pick up that chicken, baby, and have a bite.
Let me get a quick test here on that whatchamacallit here. It's very fresh. Coleslaw, yeah, very good.
Get your hand
Loving
on that
it.
chicken. I know you want it.
Finger food.
I know you want it. Here it goes, guys. Bite into that big breast. Wow. Yeah. Mmm. Like you're mukbanging now, huh? Like Shay.
Mmm. Mmm.
How'd that taste?
Mm. That's got a lot of flavor to it,
It's not greasy at all, is it?
and very juicy. It's really nice flavored. It's got a really nice spice to it.
It feels light. It doesn't feel like a real heavy,
Yeah.
oily chicken, does it?
Yeah, it's fluffy, almost like a biscuit. It's great. Loving it.
All right. A little altercation up at the counter there. You guy want to break shitty up there?
Mm-hmm.
We're standing by.
Shot here.
Honey's not something I eat too often, but that went really good with the biscuit. Good, good, good. Oh, Missy Jen, you went to town on that chicken, huh? Darn good chicken, huh? I couldn't make chicken that tastes that good. And that's saying something.
They have improved a lot.
Improved a lot because 5 years ago, or I wouldn't even come near these places 2 years ago. And the reputation was so bad.
Last
Chicken
time I
is-
had Colonel was about 3.5 years ago. And no comparison.
Alright,
Excellent.
keep eating, babe. We got food to get through. Got to get our $20 worth of eating. It's always nice to eat with the local Chester, you know. But, having a in for my second piece for the score. This is what I remember as a kid. Like exactly the same. Only the chickens are much bigger because they're genetically modified. Chicken steak.
Actually, I don't remember KFC ever being this good. This is the best KFC I've ever had.
I think we had it pretty good when we came. Maybe 2 years ago we had it that time. I don't know, it's just real good tonight. I'm not really surprised because that time 2 years ago, thought you guys might enjoy seeing a bit of a KFC review tonight. So,
I think this is the best KFC chicken I've
stuff.
ever had.
I do have to admit this woman's not doing a lot for my appetite hanging on the railing over here. It is what it is, guys. You know, sometimes it's like good food, but you're eating like in Night of the Living Dead, soundstage. You know, Hollywood, cue the actors, baby. Weird little genetically weird piece of chicken right here, I'll tell you. But good. spices kick in. Can you imagine being raised on U.S. farms as a selling point? No artificial hormones or steroids. And they act like they did that by choice. It says federal regulations prohibit the use of hormones or steroids in poultry. So KFC chooses to use that as a bragging point, what the government doesn't allow them to do. Interesting.
It's USDA inspected too.
Yep. That's it. Raised on U.S. farms, baby. Tail of the tape was pretty darn good, I can tell you about that. 20 bucks for a fill-up meal. Large coleslaw, 2 mashed potatoes, a gravy, 4 biscuits. And don't forget your genuine imitation butter that you had on there, and the honey too. All that with tax for $21.75.
And a bunch to take home. So.
I'd say it was pretty darn worth it. We've eaten for a lot more money and not as well as we have here. So my hat is initially off for the Colonel. That was the Sanders Court where it all began in the 30s and 40s, right? Steam heat, tall baths. I guess that was a big selling point in the 1940s, huh? My tummy is happy and full, and I tell you what, Missy Jen, these are the kind of Friday night food experiences that really make Friday night foodies for me, because you go into a place that a lot of people poo-poo is, oh, you know, not that good, and you know, not healthy eating. But as I said in there, we've eaten worse for a lot more money sometimes on these expeditions. And I have to tell you, the flagship product here is the chicken. And when I came in here and I had that first bite of that chicken, man, now they're smart. They put the breast on top. They put the wings and the stuff below, and they put that breast on top. And baby, when you bite into that, it's like a little slice of heaven. And that was, there's no way around it. That was excellent chicken. You know, there's no ifs, ands, and buts. That was really tasty chicken. I saw your face when you bit into your breast, because we know breast, guys, and Missy Jen was like,
yeah,
woo!
All about them breasts.
That was it. All about those good taste too. They were really good. I'm not going to overstate it. People say, oh, you overstate on your reviews. It was a damn fine piece of chicken. I'm going to put it that way.
Best KFC chicken that I've ever had at KFC.
This reminded me of being back in the 1960s, yeah, growing up, when KFC was the deal then. Now the mashed potatoes tasted good. I don't know whether, yeah, of course they're institutional. We don't have people back there, but the flavor was good. They didn't taste cardboardy. They had some good substantiality to them, which I really liked, and the coleslaw was good too.
It's really fresh, and the spots had a good spot flavor to it, and had a good creaminess to them, so really no complaints.
And as if that wasn't enough for $20, then they throw 4 really nice sized biscuits your way, yeah, and so you get 8 pieces. You get the 4 biscuits, the 2 mashed potatoes, the coleslaw, and the gravy. I really don't know how they do it. For the economies of scale must be such that I don't know, with all the overhead and things they have, and personnel and equipment, it's amazing for $20 to feed people that and still have enough left over to run the operation and show a profit. Just goes to show you, fast food can be dog eat dog, but I would say for me, rating this was like a 9-star experience for fast food for me, because it was fast food that tasted good. Now, what was the downside to this? I thought the way that they serve it is rather weak. It's clumsy. I thought the box was difficult to get open with the biscuit in it. I guess it's made more for traveling than opening at the table.
You just pop open the sides.
Well, you pop it over. I fumble with it and screw it up.
You didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, so I'm going to give them that. But the napkins that they used were horrendous for this. You're going to give people chicken and you're serving in those crappy little brown.
They should have those little orange wipes or something for your fingers.
But that's small. There was a little drama at the counter with one of the guys that came in. So for eating experience, it can't be beat. For, you know, if you're going to come in here for a date, if you're really low on your money, it's a cool place to come into and eat. But otherwise, you can expect some drama with people coming in and breaking crappy with the counter stuff, and some people hanging like Night of the Living Dead. So 9 stars for me. What do you think?
I always have in the past taken it out, taken it home, because in general it wasn't not for me. So
you mean eat-in wasn't for you?
Eat-in was not for me, right? And so this was my first time eating at a KFC inside, and that was a rather oddball experience.
But the food was hot.
So in regards to the food, I give it a 9. But the indoor or eating on site location eatery experience was crappy, and I'm gonna take it to a 8.7 because of that. So I will say, if you want to go to KFC, go through the drive-through or go through the counter and just take it home, where you can kick off your slippers, put your feet up on the table,
scratch your belly,
maybe even take your trousers
and
off,
open that bucket of chicken, brother.
That's
Woo!
right, and dig in and just, you know, months away. So
well, I guess the bottom line that people always want to know is value for money. Did they deliver here? And
they do.
To me, they deliver in a major way. I mean, do the math and add it up. All those potatoes, I walked away from the counter. That was some substantial weight of that, and it wasn't the paper products that were holding it. So, for 20 bucks, pardon me, for $20, I'm slobbering at the thought of having it again. What are you laughing at? But for $20, I don't think that the value could be beat. So there it is, guys. You wanted to review on it. KFC, formerly known as Kentucky Fried Chicken, and the Colonel did us right. Thanks for watching, everybody. All right, tough guys. Oh, another one. Oh, tough guy.